Sorry.
No, that's okay. That hit. Nice.
I didn't mean to do that.
That's okay. That hit too. Let's go. Cody, just one more hit. Jump back. Oh!
Going with my native language. Italiano.
This is the start of, doing a little bit more teaching on the channel with one of my very best friends, Mr. Cody. We share a channel together over on DualShock. We are rocking out with a little bit of Street Fighter 6 today. You yourself had, I guess out of all the fighting games, had a little bit of curiosity towards Street Fighter 6. Or...
Yeah, I mean, this franchise as a whole is the one that I've got, like, the most experience with, if you want to call it that. I've played Street Fighter 2 when I was younger, a little bit of 4, and maybe a touch of 5. Like, I'm not huge into fighting games, but this is the franchise I've probably played, besides Tekken.
The attempts here and the goal here is to not just show this guy, but you guys, that getting into fighting games is a lot easier than you might think. And obviously having someone like myself giving a helping hand is going to make things a little bit less intimidating.
Yeah. The thing about fighting games is that I think that anybody has an opportunity, like everybody has an opportunity to get decent at these games. I just think that you have to devote a lot of time to get fairly decent, especially when the threshold is like where like the community is at and you're like here. It's just hard to meet where they're at. And so I feel like you're always kind of playing catch up. I could be wrong. It's just, that's the like observation I have of fighting games.
And like from my perspective, like getting halfway proficient is actually a lot easier than a lot of people think. Like, dude, like,
excuse me, I'm sorry.
Like let's say League of Legends, for example. League of Legends I have friends that have thousands of hours in League. And I'm just like, dude, if you put a fraction of that time, you'd be surprised at how.
Let me ask you something. So when you decided to get into fighting games, what was the game that you chose to do that with? Was it Fighters?
Yeah,
Dragon Ball Z Fighters? Okay, that was a minute ago, right?
Yeah,
like probably 2018.
2018, yeah.
Okay, so just rough estimate, what would you say is the amount of time that you had to put into it to where you felt like you could actually go toe-to-toe with just the average player of that game?
Ooh, the average player is a lot lower than you'd think. Because like
little titty kick from Colt right here. But just, you get what I'm asking. Like a roundabout way, where did you feel like, you know what? Like I actually feel like I'm
can throw hands.
Right, where I'm like actually starting to feel like I can be a part of this community and actually start playing the game aside from the single player experience. Like how many hours do you think you had to put into where you felt that? Just rough estimate. I'm sure you don't have like an exact number,
That's
obviously.
Tough because like fighting games match make you so good with people where like if you're retarded at the game, like you're fighting another retard.
When you got that game, did you like put a certain amount of time in the single player to like learn its mechanics before you actually started going into the multiplayer? Did you say fuck this, went straight into the multiplayer?
I was playing the story. Well, actually, when the game came out, a friend of mine convinced me to get it. And he was just like, hey, it's Dragon Ball, you like Dragon Ball, and my friend like fighting games, and it's like a couple of us have it, like you should get it too. We can all mess around online.
Okay.
So we scrapped like day one. Like we were just mashing and kind of having a good time.
Which one should I do?
And you have no prior experience. We're just going through the...
Fuck that.
Hell yeah.
Dude, fuck that, dude.
While I was playing the story mode, I was kind of like intermittently playing online. Out of what I remember, it was pretty immediate for me to hop on. Like, I know there's something called ranked anxiety, which people put a lot of stock towards. Like, they feel like they need to be this good before they can play the online video game. That's not a thing. Like,
you know what I found with that? Like, in general, take fighting games out of it, but like that anxiety that you get where it's like you almost put these like crazy expectations on yourself. If you honestly just stop giving a fuck about that, you actually play better. I've had that experience with any sort of multiplayer game, with like Warzone or like any other shooter, because I play a lot of shooters. The moment I stop giving a fuck is when I actually start performing the best, where I'm like, I'm just casually playing, like whatever, I'm just hopping on for an hour or two. I end up doing better when I'm doing that, as opposed to like, I'm gonna sit here and lock in for like, the more I try to hyper focus, it's like, I almost like stop myself from being the best that I possibly can be.
Yeah, like a big thing for improvement is like detaching your self-worth from like, let's just say your rank. So like, you know, the more you like self-invest in walking, by the way, it's going to teach you how to walk. The more you self-invest on how high you're climbing your rank, the more it's going to frustrate you playing the ranked video game. Like if you're focused more on learning and improving versus being focused on winning, you're gonna get so much better.
You're just like focusing on dialing in the mechanics as opposed to beating your opponents.
Because you can win without improving, but if you focus on improving, it'll lead to more wins in the future. What I wanted to do for today's video is just go through the basic mechanics of Street Fighter in the tutorial, and then primarily teach you the ideas behind the Fireball game, a little bit of the mind games, get you a basic feel for a character of your choice, likely going to be Ryu, but also talk about some other characters too.
Okay.
And then, yeah, hopefully wipe away the misconception that fighting games are really hard to get into. And I think they're getting easier over time, most definitely. Yeah, this is just teaching you your basic attacks.
Right.
Do you know how Street Fighter's button layout works?
Yes. So I know the top row of buttons here is your punches, and they go from light, medium, heavy. And then your bottom row here goes from light, medium, heavy, but it's kicks.
Yes, sir. You got it. The strengths of each button do different things. So light punch and light kick together, that's how you get your throw.
Right.
Throwing is another option in the game.
Right. Okay.
Medium and medium together is your parry, but it's also how you do like drive rush normally. And then heavy and heavy together is how you get drive impact. But it's also tied to your drive reversal. But I'll teach you all about like defensive mechanics and stuff like that as we go on.
This specific Street Fighter has like that new mechanic that you were kind of telling me about. It's that drive, right?
Yeah, drive.
Where it's like a easier way to like kind of chain your combos together, or it's like opens up more possibilities to like throw things together, right?
In varying
or
ways.
use it as a like a defensive mechanic to get yourself out of
like
pickles, pretty much.
Very all-encompassing as far as this game, and that's like one of the main gripes is like if you don't love the drive.
This is why I don't play these fucking games. I'm just kidding.
Jump in with the heavies.
No, I know. I'm just being fucking stupid.
The heavy buttons are like your good like high active frames. Think of like, you know, the heavier the value of the button, the bigger the button. So if it's a light button, it's gonna take a little bit more timing. It's because it's just gonna be so quick.
So standing blocking.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
It just wants you to hold back.
Oh, interesting.
So that's gonna have you block like overhead or jump attacks, but it also have you block mid attacks as well.
Yeah. I thought there was just a crouching block.
No,
I didn't know that they... Is that in all the other ones too?
Yep. That is
Really?
That's like a more or less a fighting game staple.
News to me, dude. Fucking, that's how little I know about fucking fighting games.
Yeah, and then there's crouching.
There's
blocks.
the crouching one. That's the one I feel like I do all the time. when I'm
Yeah,
playing these
so
games.
in Street Fighter, you'll be blocking a majority of your time crouching. Like, the main times you'll block standing is with an overhead attack like that, or like when somebody jumps at you, that's when you block standing. But Tekken is actually the opposite. Tekken, a majority of the time, you're blocking standing and you're reacting to lows.
Do you think that this game in particular is a good entry-level fighting game?
Yes and no, because while the concepts of learning Street Fighter are relatively easy, I also feel like there's a lot of like very abstract things about it. And like it actually took me a little while to pick up Street Fighter and kind of understand like how to play Street Fighter. Like picking up Dragon Ball FighterZ was much easier because you could kind of just mash and play Dragon Ball. You'll just press it right away. There it is.
Okay.
So I'm gonna give you a little tip for throws. Is you're less reacting to the throw. You don't react to it. More so, you react to someone being really close to you or someone like doing an extended walk at you. And like this person's walking closer than they should be, they're probably gonna throw me. It's like it's kind of a guess in a way. Yeah, your special moves. This is yeah, Luke is kind of like the modern day Ryu. He's like today's Ryu, if you will. But he's got some different stuff too. So this is your Shoryuken.
Do I need to use light punch?
Any punch.
Oh, wait.
So forward, down, down, forward. There it is.
Got it. Okay,
Beautiful.
that was just a weird way of looking at it. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so this is your super art bar at the bottom. This gives you access to all your special
You
moves.
fill up 3 levels as indicated by the number beside the gauge if you have at least one move.
There it is, beautiful.
I will say, in the past, when I've played fighting games, besides maybe like an arcade cabinet, I've played it with a controller. And from what little experience I've had with these hitboxes, I feel like it is a much easier to get an understanding of combos with these than it is like a D-pad and a controller. I know people out there are nice with that, but for me, it was a pain in the ass trying to learn that.
In ways, like everyone has their own preference for peripheral. Like if I were to not play on hitbox, I would probably play on pad. Depending on the game, I might play stick. Like if I were to go to Guilty Gear, I'd play stick because I've spent the entirety of my Guilty Gear career playing on stick.
Do you like stick more or like a hitbox? I think hitbox.
Oh,
is
hitbox all
I was
day.
gonna say it's like I feel like I could be more
The
like
reason
accurate with the movement.
the reason I didn't play Guilty Gear on stick was because the hitbox I had at the time, which is the one you have in your room, wasn't supported on PS5 games.
Right.
And Guilty Gear Strive was a PS5 game, so I'm just like, okay, do any of my sticks work? All right, I guess I'll just fucking play on stick. So I ended up playing Guilty Gear for 100+ hours on stick, which I don't mind. I like stick, but if I were to play like Dragon Ball again, I'd probably play on pad. Like I still have a lot of muscle memory on pad.
The drive gauge. All right.
R1 and R2, that's your heavy punch and heavy kick button together. Or there's also, you could do one of your L1 and L2, like your N buttons. One of those is drive impact as well. If you do it in the corner, they'll get blown back, and if they hit the wall, it like staggers them a little bit.
Okay.
But yeah,
It doesn't do that when they're just in the center of the ring.
it does, but if they happen to hit the wall at the end of the screen, they'll be staggered. Like if it's middle of the screen, they're just blown back a little bit.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Drive impact is really good, and I was going to teach you about that, and I will be teaching you more about that as we go on when I teach you the Fireball game. Drive impact is a low-level like scrub killer. It blows up noobs, but it also will like, you know, blow up you as well. It's just as
You don't think that like noobs would be like using the fuck out of their drive impact?
they are. They trust me, they are. So learning how to defend against that early on is huge.
Okay.
So now it's teaching you drive parry. So that's your medium kick and medium punch.
Okay.
Now with a little timing, you can get perfect parry, which is like a freeze frame. Like you get like a free little punish.
Okay.
But it's like a 2-frame window. It's a lot harder than it sounds because like if you get decent at it, you'll end up doing it all the time.
So you can get your whole drive meter back by parrying?
So when you block, it'll kind of chip away your drive gauge. But if you parry instead, it won't do that. The weakness to parry is throw. And you can just hold parry too. So yeah, it's telling you to throw them right now.
Try them in a real fight while or drive parry press. Okay.
And throwing someone in parry state gives like a decent little bit of damage.
So that state was, oh shit. Oh no, it's just showing me. So that state that he was in where he had the blue like aura
Yeah.
thing was after I already parried him? And then I could throw him? Was that what it's trying to tell me?
So it's just that he's holding down parry the whole time. Like you can hold as much as you want to, as long as you have drive gauge. But it's like, oh hey, like to read this, like if someone
That's the counter is
parrying
throwing?
yeah, exactly.
Gotcha.
And it'll do
Okay.
pretty good damage to him. It's kind of throwing everything at you right now.
I'm trying. It's just
I'm gonna reel it back a little bit once we get into just me and
the
you.
drive stuff is kind of a lot for me to kind of. Your opponent will try to hit you with a drive impact. You can bet your bottom dollar that your opponent will try to.
Yeah, it's
How do you do, ma'am? I don't know. It's just
weird way of putting it, but yeah, like more often than not, if you're in the corner, they'll probably try to drive impact. But a counter to that is you can drive impact their drive impact.
Timing is harder
The
than
timing is
using.
not that hard.
It's not. But can
Yeah.
lead to some big damage.
It's just you
I
see
see.
someone go red, you do it yourself. You have that whole animation, and then
So
you get a
it's better to do that instead of just parrying.
I'd say so because you get free damage.
So it's like, okay, how many bars does that take up compared to the parry?
I want to say, well, parry is like a progressive, like burn down of your drive gauge.
The longer you hold it.
Drive impact, I want to say, is 1 or 2. I want to say it's 1.
And that's just a tap, but if you hold the parry, however long you hold is.
Exactly. Just slowly deteriorate.
But you get more of a benefit if you do the impact and time that right.
Exactly.
Because it's a window that you have to kind of figure out. Okay.
It's not that hard of a window though.
It's interesting because you have to kind of sit there and pay attention to their meter while you're fighting at the same time, which is
a little bit.
You'll sit there and fucking fight and have to be like, oh, okay, they're getting low on their drive. If I fucking try to bait him to like burn it out, then I can fucking sit there and rally off him for however many string combos or whatever I can do.
The only weakness drive impact has, like, you can avoid it and stuff like that. So if like if somebody whiffs, like, you're getting a free like hit on them, but like you can also break through the armor of drive impact. It has 3 hits of armor before it breaks. So if you do something like a 3-hitting move, it'll break the armor of DI. So I think what's gonna happen is I'm gonna have you hit the start button.
Just fuck this.
Yeah. I don't wanna get you overloaded.
No, you're good. You're good.
I just wanna. I mean, you'll get it.